Hello, friend. In this episode, I'm going to discuss what I consider the missing piece for me turning on my psychic senses. The way that it kind of unfolded was I wasn't even interested in trying to turn on my psychic senses. I was actually researching a topic, and I typed on Spotify the topic that I was searching, and there was a podcast group called Psychic Evolution covering the topic, so I listened to it. And as I was listening to them talk, eventually I think they started talking about their psychic process. And I had already been meditating for years at this point, 15-ish years. But when I was meditating, my posture was very much of surrender, self-examination, self-realization type of meditation. And as they were going through the process, explaining their process, it was very much meditation. But the thing that they did that I was not doing was they were using intention. They were intending to connect to such and such. So a deceased loved one, their dog, anything. They were using their conscious mind to intend to connect to something else. Intention, to be clear, was my missing piece. And from there, I began practicing automatic writing. And I didn't know what I was doing at the time. Journaling, I guess, is what they call it. But I was writing out just normally, using my carnal mind because I didn't really know what I was doing. Because I'd never automatically written before. I've never psychically written at that point. So I have a couple paragraphs of me just writing off the top of my head with intending. And then all of a sudden, it started flowing out of me, coming from a sense of the illogical. Spirit is pointing out it was coming from the illogical. It was coming from the part of the mind that didn't understand where this was coming from and why it was true and that sort of stuff. And it was all due to intending it to come out. This is why it's helpful when you're first beginning to be psychic to pretend that you are the best psychic. Because you're already affirming it. If you understood how much the way you're holding things in mind affects the expression that's about to manifest from you, you would live a more intentional life. You wouldn't tolerate, you'd be less tolerable of the unintentional acts. Now, this is just a piece of it. If you're inspired now to use your intention to connect to those other things and explore your psychic senses and develop them, there's a little bit of a process that I recommend prior to that, which is putting up your boundaries and safety, intending that you're only connecting to beings of love and light, intending that you are safe, intending that you control your experience completely with your conscious mind. At all times you are in control. Those types of things are precede the conscious connection because you want to affirm that you have that safety and that you have that power and you have that ability before you get into playing with these types of things as a beginner. Because and even after the fact, to be reckless and mindless is not to be aware in that moment, right? But and notice as you put those boundaries up, that's what you're intending. Spirit's raising my awareness of that. Those are intentions. Intend that you are safe. Intend that you are only connecting to beings of love and light. Intend to stand in your power and consciously control your experience. When you're getting these psychic hits, intend for clarity, intend for accuracy, right? And that's just a validation of how manifestation works as well, by the way, how creation works. And it's demonstrated in your own experience as you do this, which provides us more conviction to apply it to any and everything in our experience, because we see how we influence it. We see how we're forming it, we're manipulating it with our own consciousness. It shows the energy. It shows how thoughts are things, right? Undeniable. Undeniable. This is why before every meditation, it's nice to set an intention. What's your intention of the meditation? This is why before you eat, it's nice to have an intention. What's your intention for eating? What are you intending this food to do? Thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. All thought precedes manifestation. Or thought precedes all manifestation. If you deliberately intend what you want your food to do consciously, you're influencing it. You're energizing it in that manner. If you're eating with fear of that food, how do you suppose you are influencing it energetically? How do you suppose it would manifest? There's a story that's told about, and this was a hypnosis story, where a person had an allergy to strawberries, and they went to a restaurant and they said, please don't put strawberries in this meal. It was a dessert, if I recall correctly. And they said that, okay, they didn't put it in there, and he ate it. And then 2 hours later, he got a phone call. He was allergic to strawberries. Sorry, I don't know if I mentioned that. And 2 hours later, or something like that, they called him and said, sorry, sir, we actually did put strawberries in yours, in your dessert there. There's been a mistake. And his reaction to that actually caused him to die. He actually died. That was in a book that I've read, or a hypnosis lesson that I'd come across. And it's the power of the mind. It's the power of your thoughts, right? You can have no reaction to the same thing, or you can have a reaction that'll kill you. You can have a reaction that will empower you. What determines that reaction? What's going on in your conscious mind? The thoughts that you think. That's why not everybody who eats the exact same thing has the exact same result. It's not the broccoli doing it to them. It's not the chocolate doing it to them. It's not the French fry doing it to them. How are they perceiving it? If you're going to do anything, do it with joy. Do it with love. Do it with gratitude. That includes smoking a cigarette. Do it with love. Do it with joy. Do it with gratitude. Don't do it with fear. Don't do it with disgust. Those are low vibrations. Those are influencing expressions of suffering, manifesting expressions of suffering. Like attracts like. Like attracts like. All right? I might have seemingly got off topic here, but what I'm showing you is the intention, the value and power of intention. I was meditating for a long time before I understood this piece. What I really have to credit my development beyond what I was experiencing for so many years of meditation is really tapping into spirit, developing these psychic senses. Remember, psyche means spirit, means soul. So when you develop your psychic senses, you're developing your soul senses, you're getting connected at that deeper level. And then when that information came through from spirit as revelation, it helped me to understand things deeper and deeper than I had ever experienced before and understood before. Okay, so we'll leave it for there for now, my friends. Maintain a blessed mind, and you shall be blessed. It's assured. It's certain. Some teachers would say, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Okay, I love you. Talk soon.
If you found this episode helpful, please consider sharing it with those who may be ready for its message or in need of a spiritual perspective. If you're interested in personal guidance, either online or via email, in order to better align your practice and experience, helping you to grow deeper spiritually, psychically, as a conscious creator and manifester, affecting all areas of your life, including health, relationships, and abundance, you may contact me at aswithinsoul@gmail.com. If you're inspired to support my works and expanding endeavors in the form of a donation, that would be greatly appreciated and can be done by e-transfer or PayPal using my email aswithinsoul@gmail.com.